Well, hello and welcome to Live in the Hive, the only online magazine show dedicated to theatre across Greater Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton. I'm with you for the next half an hour, bringing you interviews, news, and some exclusive previews of some of the shows coming our way. It's all very exciting, so stay with us. We have got loads in this show to tell you about. And of course, we stream every week on the Live in the Hive Facebook page and the wonderful I Love Manchester Facebook page. So hello if you're watching on both of those channels this evening. And of course, I Love Manchester is the iconic city brand dedicated to community and culture across Manchester, and we love it lots too. Now, tonight's show, we have got great guests for you. We've got these guys. Oh, what a wonderful pair. We've got Oliver Farnworth. You might remember him from Coronation Street as Andy Carver. He is stepping into the shoes of Michael Douglas in Fatal Attraction on stage. And we've got Jake Quickenden. Remember X Factor, Dancing on Ice, I'm a Celebrity? Of course you know Jake Quickenden. Well, he is currently starring on stage in the iconic 80s musical Footloose, and they are going to be chatting to me. I am very excited about this one. We have got them, and we have also got our regular things. Yes, we like to keep you updated with what's going on the theatre, and we've got some great announcements to tell you about this week. And not only have we got that, but we have got a very good exclusive. We have got one of the songs from this brand new musical, Fantastically Great Women Who Changed the World. So please do stay tuned until the end of the show when we will be revealing that first song from the show. And it is an absolute cracker. You are going to love it. Now, the show comes to the Lowry in April. So if you like it, you know what to do. Go book those tickets, guys. But this evening, yes, we have got lots of people in the Hive to talk to me. And firstly, I got to chat earlier this week to a wonderful guy. He is so down to earth, and I feel like you know him already because he has been on our screens for the past couple of years in lots of reality TV shows. Now he's treading the boards and he's singing again, which shot him to fame back in the day on X Factor. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Jake Quickenden, and he caught up with me to tell me a little bit about what we can expect when Footloose comes to Manchester. We love you in Manchester, I have to say. I think we've kind of semi-adopted you, Jake, because you just feel like one of us.
Yeah, a little bit. I lived in Manchester for so long as well. I was there for 4 years. And I just love Manchester as a city, as a place, the people. Do you know what I mean? It's just such a nice place. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't wait. And we get you in an absolutely cracking show, Footloose.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say, loved the 80s, loved the film starring Kevin Bacon. Now, you've been touring with this, haven't you? How's it going? What were the rehearsals like? What's it like doing this show?
So the rehearsals for me, everyone else got 5 weeks rehearsals. I got 10 days because I was doing another show. So I had to learn this show in 10 days. And not only is it singing, dancing, acting, I also play the guitar in it as well with the band for some of the songs. So it was, honestly, the rehearsal process for me was one of the most stressful I've ever had. I remember after about day 5, I phoned my missus and I said, I'm going to have to pull out because I don't think I can learn all this. I'm really struggling. And she was like, you say this all the time, you'll be fine, keep going. And then I flew to Zurich because that's where the rest of the cast were. They were performing in Zurich. And I watched the show and I performed with all them. And I was like, right, I can do this. This is all right. I can learn it. It's not as much as what I thought. And the rest of the cast kind of pulled me together and spurred me on. And it's just such an amazing show. It's fun. It's fast. It's hard work. I burned some calories. I tell you that for a fact. But it's amazing.
Oh my God, that is incredible, that story behind it. Now,
mad.
You play Willard in this, all right? So for anybody who hasn't seen the film before, shame on them, and doesn't know what Footloose is. It's a classic. But tell us a little bit about the story and how Willard comes into that story.
The basis of the story is about a guy called Ren who lives in Chicago, and he moves to a small town called Beaumont where loud music, drinking, drugs, obviously, and dancing has all been banned because they had a big accident. And the Reverend, played by the amazing Darren Day, he has banned all these things. So Ren moves there thinking that it's going to be quite fun, and he can't even dance, he can't do anything. So so that's how the story starts. And then you get my character, who is very happy in that life. He loves his little town. He doesn't know anything else. I can't imagine Willard think there's anything else out there in the big world, because he's so happy where he is. He's a country boy, he's a cowboy, do you know what I mean? And then Ren comes along, and he's never met anyone like Ren before. Willard usually just drinks, fights, and works on his cars and goes to school. I think he's probably been held back in school a few years, and he's one of them. And then he meets this Ren, who slowly starts to show him that there's much more out there than just Beaumont, and you can fight these things when you don't believe something's right. So yeah, my character is, I think, lovable, a little bit stupid, but it suits me to a T. And yeah, I'm just a really good character to play.
Am I right in thinking that in the film, Willard can't dance and has a real issue dancing?
That's the same in the show.
Now, you can dance on ice. We know, because you won that series, Jake.
But I can't dance.
Do you have to ham it up?
I can't dance. No, I can't dance. Honestly, right? So everyone always says, you won dancing on ice. I'm like, yeah, but how much dancing did I actually do? I didn't. I skated.
Yeah, but if you can dance stroke skate on ice, surely when you're on flat ground, it's got to be a lot easier.
It's so much different, honestly. And this is what I was struggling with in the rehearsals. They showed me some dance routine, and I can boogie when I've had a Jaeger bomb. Do you know what I mean? Like in Menagerie or something. But like when I haven't, and I'm getting taught choreography, it baffles my mind where you go and these counts and stuff. And it took me a little bit, and so I'm a little bit like Willard in that aspect, that I can't really dance amazingly, but by the end, Willard can dance, and you see that in the actual story. When I learned to dance.
Well, we know you can sing. And do you know what? When I was coming to do this interview, one of the first things that I thought about you wasn't X Factor. Do you know what? Because I feel that you have departed so much from that.
Yeah.
And you can do lots of other things that you kind of forget that you started out on X Factor as this singer, and you have a cracking voice, Jake.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know what? I've got followers now on Instagram that maybe never followed me when I did X Factor, but they've seen me in SAS, or they've seen me in the jungle, or Dancing on Ice, or all the other blooming shows I've done. And then I'll put a video of me singing on my Instagram, and people are like, oh my God, you can sing. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how I started. But yeah, it's amazing being back on stage singing. It's been a tough couple of years for everybody, really. So that's why this show's so nice, because people just love having a laugh, and they love dancing, and there's a real feel-good factor to it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I get to sing. I get to dance a bit. I play the guitar. I act. I got to speak in a Southern American accent, which is hard enough when you're as northern as I am. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's definitely been a challenge, but I never shy away from a challenge. I don't think anyone should. I feel like if you want to get somewhere in your life, then you need to take these challenges on and grab them with both hands and embrace them. So that's what I always try and do, to be honest.
And yeah, you've totally done that throughout your career, and I honestly can't wait to see you back on stage and hear you again. But I am a little bit worried, right, Jake? I'm not worried about the dancing, even though you said it's a little bit. I'm not worried about the accent, even though you said. I'm definitely not worried about the singing. But you were born in 1988. Come on, right?
Yeah.
You really didn't see the 80s that much.
Not really. Couple of years.
So this is really new for you. So what I thought I'd do is kind of do a quiz stroke masterclass for you. Is that okay? About the 80s? All right.
I'm going to surprise you here. I'm going to get a few right, I think.
Right. Okay. I'll hold you to that. This is a film that was out in the 80s. Can you name it? Here we go.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Wait.
come on. You've seen this film. It is a classic. Despite being in the 80s, it is still really going strong.
No, I know exactly what it is. I can picture it, but I can't
Never
remember.
ending story.
Oh, Never Ending Story. Oh God, I know that. I knew that.
Good film, though. Yeah.
What a great film! Actually, one of my favourites. I love that film.
I absolutely loved it. Okay, so we know that the outfits were quite dodgy in the 80s. Name the outfit. What was that called in the 80s? And it wasn't called a tracksuit.
I can't even think.
This is a shell suit. Now,
A shell suit. God, yeah.
Just thank yourself. Looking.
I've got a shell suit as well.
Yep. Have you got a shell suit?
Yeah, I bought one recently, and everyone took the mick out of us saying, "What is that?"
Actually, do you know what? When I looked up shell suits, they are coming back in fashion.
They're cool.
So, you might want to hang on to it. Now, if you don't get this one, right, you need to just leave the interview right now. Okay. This was a TV show that was in the 80s, starring Joan Collins.
Dynasty,
Jake. Dynasty.
I never heard of it. That was been 81.
I'm showing my age. I'm going to leave this interview feeling so blooming ancient. I really
didn't know
am.
that. I've never heard of that.
Right. Well, this one, you've got 10 years to choose from. Okay. So I'm just looking at a year in the 80s that this guy was born, and you will definitely recognize this guy. Justin Timberlake.
I'd say 82.
Oh, so close. 81.
Yeah.
He was born January 81 in Memphis.
So is he 40 now then?
Yeah, he's gone over 40. I think he'll be knocking on for 41 now.
Wow.
I know. The time goes so fast. It does.
Nearly got it though.
Right, now this woman definitely isn't 40 at the minute. She's a bit older than that. She's a pop star from the 80s. She sung Kids in America. Can you name this woman?
No! Not a clue who that is.
Oh, it's Kim Wilde.
Who?
Look her up.
Is she on Spotify? I'll have a listen.
Did you play with any toys in the 80s? I mean, at the end of the 80s, early 90s?
If we're on about a Rubik's Cube, I did.
I nearly picked a Rubik's Cube, but I went for this because I thought you might have had one of these.
Transformer?
Yay!
Of course I did.
For a bonus point, okay?
All right.
What character is that Transformer?
Optimus Prime, innit?
Yes! I tell you what, you were a slow burner there, but once you got started, you actually convinced me you were from the 80s.
Thank you. That's my middle name, Jake Slow Burner Quickenden. It's great.
You can go back to the cast now and go,
yeah.
You know what? I know who Kim Wilde is.
Yeah.
Oh, bless his cotton socks. He tried so hard at that 80s quiz, and he was born in the late 80s as well. So, you know what? What a good sport and such a decent, down-to-earth guy. I love chatting to Jake Quickenden there. And we found out that he owns a shell suit. Who would have thought? Jake Quickenden has a shell suit. You heard it here on Live in the Hive. Now, all we have to do is look out for him wearing it. Oh, well, Jake will be with us in Manchester very soon. He's coming at the end of February until the 5th of March. But what else is coming to Manchester? I hear you cry. Well, here we go with our Greater Manchester Theatre News. And next week, it's all about this guy. Gary Barlow, yes, that little known pop star. Well, he's coming to the stage. He's coming to the Lowry from the 22nd to the 27th next week with his one-man show, A Different Stage. Now, it's not just because I'm bragging that I've put up this photograph of when I met Gary Barlow and he did Calendar Girls. I've got to say, that was a moment. But the guy next to him is Tim Firth, one of his best friends, and also someone he's collaborated with a number of times, not only on Calendar Girls, but you might remember the band, the Take That musical. Tim has done some of the script for Gary on a different stage. But what can you expect? Well, the first half is going to be very much about the Take That days. So lots of stories there for Take That fans. And then the second half is going to be dedicated to the music that Gary has penned over the years and some of the stories behind the song. So it's going to be really interesting. And this is a really intimate gig as well. He played Runcorn, the Brindley Theatre, a small venue. He's coming to the Lowry, which we know is quite a bigger venue, but he's actually in the Keys Theatre, and that only holds just over 400 people. So it's going to be great. They were the hottest tickets in town to get this week. And I have to say, I bagged one of them. I am so excited, everybody. So if you are going, look out for me. I am there on Wednesday night, and I am going to be bringing you all the news from that show. I'm going to be on Instagram and Twitter giving you some exclusive and backstage gossip behind the scenes of that show. So I'm going to be taking you with me in the seats, and I'm going to show you how excited I am. And you might even see footage of me being escorted from the theatre. I hope not. I'm going to behave. I promise. I promise Lowry, and I promise Gary Barlow, honest. Now, not only has that been announced this week and those tickets been on sale, but we've also got something that got me very excited. It was the release of some photos of one of my other favorite musicals. The Lion King. It is an absolute classic from Disney, and it came to the stage, of course. We saw it in 2015 when it came to Manchester the last time. It should have been coming in 2020, but of course, a pandemic stopped that from happening. But it is back. It's back this year from the 27th of October to the 24th of December. So a long run there at the Palace Theatre, and I honestly can't wait for this. You've got the music of Elton John and Tim Rice. You've got new songs, an original score. Puppetry is amazing, and the cast has just been released for this. Now you'll see Nala there, Nakwanda Koswayo. She played the role in Germany and Brazil. And you've also got this guy playing Simba. He is Stevenson Arden Soji, and they are joined by a wonderful ensemble. Look at that. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. So watch out for those tickets going on sale for The Lion King. It is an absolutely spectacular show. And if you want to hear about any more shows or theatre or what's going on around Manchester, you know where to head this week. Head to I Love Manchester. Next up, we are going to take a look at my chat with the wonderful Oliver Farnworth. Now, you remember him from Coronation Street. Yes, he played Andy Carver. Now he is taken to the stage in such an iconic role. Remember the film Fatal Attraction? Well, it's on the stage. Yes, bunny boiler scene and everything. So I just had to find out more about this. It comes next week to the Opera House, and here is what Oliver had to say. So, Ollie, you are back in Manchester with Fatal Attraction. I mean, this is some play.
It's pretty full on, I have to admit. It's pretty full on. Yeah, it's like a roller coaster. Once you get on it, you can't get off. So it's 2 hours of exhilarating kind of twists and turns and suspense and drama and all the stuff you'd expect from the film put on stage.
Because it's such an iconic film, you know, people, you know, flocked to that in 1987. I can't believe, like, nearly 35 years ago it was out. It's like, wow. So how does it feel to kind of have that weight on your shoulders, I suppose?
Yeah, there's a reasonable amount of weight of kind of trepidation that comes with that. I think like with any adaptation, you've got to give kind of reverence to where it's come from, to the original film, the original story, and understand that audiences are going to come and want to see parts of that. We're not you know, kind of remaking the wheel. But at the same time, you know, times change, and I think in its historical context, the film was a kind of snapshot of the society it was set in, and James Dearden, the writer, has very much kind of updated that sort of thematically, and has embraced modern society, modern technology, but also the sort of day and age that we live in today. So. Yeah, it's a fresh production.
Absolutely. And, you know, great cast. What was it like going for the role as well? Did you know who, you know, your leading ladies either side
Yeah.
were going to be?
Yeah, I knew Kim was attached, and then I found out Susie was playing Beth, my onstage wife, and I'd worked with Susie before. We'd done a production in Edinburgh Festival a few years back, so we know each other well. And obviously, I'd worked with Kim on Corrie, even though we worked out we never really crossed paths that much. We sort of said I might have served her in the bistro, and she might have given me a pint in the Rovers, but we never had big storylines. But obviously, being a part of the Corrie cast, you're always together in the building, in the green room, and going out on nights out and to awards and things like that. So yeah, we knew each other quite well as well. So it's really nice to be back on stage after a couple of years. You know, it's been quite a quiet couple of years all round, but also with familiar faces. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the audiences as well and the reviews that you've been getting, they love it. You know, not only is it great for people to be back at the theatre, but something that is fresh and new like this to be on the stage. I'm thinking, bunny boiler scene, that's got to be a moment, right?
Well, we can't not have a bunny. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Not gonna give too much away, but the bunny does feature. Yeah.
What has the reaction been to your character? Because it's a funny one, isn't it? You know, the role that you play, because we like to put the blame on the guy, but I think it's very much a bit of both, really, on this one.
I mean, arguably at points of the story, you absolutely could say that. You could legitimize that. I think for me, playing any kind of character, you have to sort of shed your own skin in a way, and try and find the faults in the character, the reasons for their behavior, and their shortcomings as well. So it's been an interesting one. He's a pretty conflicted character, and absolutely not without faults and not without blame whatsoever. So it's just kind of getting under the skin of a character like that, and trying to find where the motives come from for their behavior, I guess.
Had you seen the movie prior to getting the role, and have you made a conscious effort, I suppose, to steer clear of watching?
Yeah, well, as growing up in the 80s, I was kind of around when it came out, and then I saw it in the 90s. I think in terms of a character, you know, Michael Douglas's character in that was obviously extremely kind of iconic, and there would be a trap of going, oh, what did he do there? What did he do there? And I think as an actor, it's a dangerous place. So I try and steer clear of that if I'm doing any sort of adaptation.
And this is quite a demanding role for you, because you're playing a narrator as well, aren't you? So we're going to see you in a narrative role as well. And so are you pretty much on stage all the time?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm just looking now. I've got my Manuka honey here. I'm in my dressing room at the moment. It's
definitely need that, Ollie. You definitely
need Manuka honey for the voice, because it's 2 hours, and I basically don't leave the stage. Well, I leave it a couple of times in the second half, but only for glimpses. So everything happens on stage, and that's one of the exciting things about the production. I think it moves so fast. There are no dark points on stage. It never goes black. Everything happens. Scene changes happen around people. Costume changes on stage. So it really keeps the tension, I think. And we've worked all that stuff in kind of dramatically. So yeah, there's never a sort of dull moment on stage.
And that was brilliant, kind of being able to be part of that process when it is something that's come to the stage for the first time, because you're really making your mark on it. You know, you're kind of creating that role and those roles all together. Yeah,
I think I thought at first, I was like, wow, this is pretty. I've played a part in the past. I did Saturday Night and Sunday Morning, and I played Arthur Seaton in that, and that was another role where I never left the stage. And I thought, yeah, but that was sort of 15 years ago now. And I was like, oh God, I'm not going to be able to remember it. I don't know what I'm doing. But actually, it's quite nice in a way, because you start the journey and then you never have a break in your concentration. I actually find it quite difficult going, well, I've got 11 minutes now until the next scene. I go back to the dressing room. I can't really switch off. So actually being on stage the whole time, it really flies by, and it's quite good. it's quite a good workout, really, and it really helps with the sort of character arc as well, because you don't have time to switch off.
For anybody who's seen the film and knows it inside out, you are going to see a different kind of twist in this. I'm not wanting to give anything away, but it's not entirely exact, is it?
No.
I'm trying to be as canny as I can.
Like I've said, James Dearden was very keen to kind of update the story, the sort of themes of the story, and bring it into a kind of more modern context, and maybe widen the debate around kind of culpability and blame and motives. So we definitely see maybe a bit more of a redress of the balance at the end, I might say, but apart from that, can't really.
Oh, I am so excited. Are you looking forward to coming back to Manchester?
Yeah,
it felt like you're home for so long, Ollie.
No, I know. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I've heard a few of the Corrie lot will come down on maybe Tuesday night, I believe. So it'd be good to bump into a few of them and say hi, and it'd be good. I
am so gutted that they killed you off in Coronation Street. It's that nasty feeling bloke.
They killed me off twice, not once, twice. Unbelievable. But hey, you mess with Pat Phelan, you come up and don't you?
I know. If he turns up on Tuesday night, I'll be like, hey, out of there now.
No, you couldn't get a nicer guy than Conor McIntyre. So he'd be welcome. He'd be welcome with open arms.
Oh, brilliant. Well, good luck with the rest of the tour. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'm prepared to jump at a few moments, gasp at a lot of moments, and relish every single minute of it. So it's going to be brilliant. I've been waiting for this since it was first announced, Ollie.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear.
Oh, Fatal Attraction on stage. That's got to be a winner, isn't it? Yes. Oh, and what a cast. I think Kim Marsh is definitely going to rock it as Alex Forrest, the Glenn Close role. So I'll tell you all about it next week. Check out my socials. I'm going to see it. And also check out I Love Manchester for their review. And talking of next week, who have we got on the show? Well, we have got the cast of The Last Quiz Night on Earth. And check this out. They're going to be in the Hive with me having a glass of wine. Oh, you can't miss that one. And we've got this guy. Oh, if you're a fan of Les Mis, it is the guy who's starring as Jean Valjean in the tour, which is coming to the Lowry. It is, of course, Dean Chisnell. What a guy. What a great lineup we've got for next week. But I'm going to leave you tonight playing out of the show with an exclusive preview of a brilliant new musical. It's called The Fantastically Great Women Who Changed the World. And this is quite an apt song. It's deeds, not words. And it's a woman who is playing Emmeline Pankhurst. And of course, she's from Manchester. Got to play it out, guys, and you are gonna love this song and love this musical. It's coming to the Lowry in April, so do watch out for it. And I'd like to dedicate this song and the show to one of the fantastically great women I had the pleasure of knowing. So this is for you, Gaynor, and I will see you all next week, next Sunday. Until then, take care. See you.
It's 1903, and thanks to me, the UK strives towards equality, acknowledging the poverty of women's opportunity necessitates a need for taking action with alacrity. The future's in our hands, so make your mark and stand with me. Or to put it a little more simply, we need deeds, not words. Ladies, if you wanna be heard, we need blood, sweat, tears. Need to find a way to face our fears. All these years we've been rejected, with no say in who's elected for what we deserve. We need deeds, not deeds, not words. Deeds, not words. We're the suffragettes, soldiers in petticoats. There's never been a better bitter bunch for getting out the vote. I'll never let you down, I'm pushing out the boat. If they don't like it, that's too bad, I'll shove it down their throat. We don't want your sympathy, save the condescending talk, oh please. What we need deeds, not words. Ladies, if you wanna be heard, we need blood, sweat, tears. Need to find a way to face your fears. There's no way we'll be subjected, with no say in who's elected. Hit 'em where it hurts. We need deeds, not whoa, deeds, not words. Whoa, deeds, not words. Would sit complaining, it's plain that we must take the lead. When I get chained up to their railings, they'll be taking heed. A little blood is lost for every battle won, but that's the cost, I'm guessing, what you call a hooligan. We cannot simply ask for rights, we must be ready for the fight. So take my hand and hold on tight. Listen, I'm done waiting, the system is suffocating. Gonna break every law if it ensures that we make them. I've done bound up my scars, these prisons can't hold my bars. I'll be spitting till I'm winning and we claim what is ours.
Please, Mrs. Pankhurst, this is no way for a lady to behave. If we let women vote, the next thing you know, they might not want to get married. Their tiny brains will explode under all the pressure.
Did you hear them call women inferior? Year after year, I'm growing